Hey everyone, Rick here. I received an order today from Dwarven Forge which contained a few of their Woodland sets, and I thought I'd take a quick video to show you how they look in a setup here that I just decided to put together for picture and video purposes. While I'm waiting for their second Kickstarter rewards to ship to me for their Caverns Kickstarter, I went ahead and placed an order for these Woodland sets, and those just arrived today, so I thought I'd do a quick overview. Now, what you're seeing here is I used every single piece of 3 Woodland sets and every single piece of 4 Woodland accessory sets, and then there are a couple pieces from the Ancient Treasures set that was also part of my order. Of course, none of the figures, all the figures you see here are just ones that I've pulled out of my collection, random RPG figures and wood elves from Warhammer Fantasy. One thing I realized though is I need a lot more basic trees. I don't have enough to make this truly a forest village, but that's what I was going for here, was a village in the forest kind of setup. That's always kind of something I wanted to do, and these Woodland sets from Dwarven Forge came out in 2011, if I'm remembering that correctly, and I always thought they were gorgeous. They were sculpted by Sandra Garrity, who's known for her miniatures. I have some of her sculpts as well. They are very impressive, and I think she did an absolutely lovely job here, and I'll get up real close to some of the pieces in a little bit. This is a limited edition set, if I didn't say that already, with 1,000 sets total. I think Dwarven Forge might have a little less than half left over, because each set comes with a certificate, and mine are numbered 539, 540, and 541. So if that's accurate, then they still have a little over half their stock there. So definitely, I encourage you to pick up a few. And the accessories also were sculpted by Sandra as well. So you're going to have things like little beds, and let's see if I can pull out some stuff and put it right here. So here's an example of a bed made out of vines and leaves, and you can see on the bottom she has her name there. Here's one of the window pieces. I just love the colors, the brown, the green, and then you'll see little flowers, sometimes yellow, sometimes pink. You'll see some green moss in the cracks of the floor. That is just gorgeous. I probably, you can put me on record in saying that I think this is the most beautiful set that Dwarven Forge has ever released. It just really is. Here's a little table and chairs, a little candle. One of my favorite pieces is the water basin. It's being held up by 2 figures. Again, vines, leaves, and then you got some clear water in there. These things are really handy. You can use them as handrails or dividers. I've used them to kind of separate a room there. and put a door into like the bedroom part. This was supposed to be like a little merchant's shop. I used a couple of the ladders and toadstools to make little tables in there where he has some of the ancient treasures, magical items, and of course he has a stack of gold bars back there. So yeah, my idea for that one was a little merchant's shop, and then a private residence, a couple private residences. And then this is like the Lord's manor, or like a barracks, or kind of a headquarters. And kind of divided up the room there. They're having an important talk. And I was kind of lazy with the rest of the ladders. I kind of piled them in this little storage area. And then kind of a bedroom back there. If you've seen some of my other videos, you may notice or recognize some of the wood elf figures. These doors are so awesome. They are gorgeous doors. And what else haven't I shown you? Just some other pieces. Here's a floor tile that has a little fire built into it. You get one of these with each set. And so that is my forest village made entirely out of Dwarven Forge Woodland sets. Again, I think that they're absolutely gorgeous, both the sets and the accessories. Here's a different piece. And I've thought about using this as like a curtain. So a walkway that you could go through that's just a curtain of leaves, or just as a wall. Some of the other accessory pieces are like these little piles of wood. It just creates a really enchanting, mythical, magical scene. I think they are, again, so gorgeous. The only issue, if I'm to be honest, is sometimes they're tough to align. The walls, just the way they're sculpted, don't like to sit flush with each other. So after doing that for like a whole long wall, you're going to have some gaps in the floor. But you can usually space those out so it's not so bad. Minor complaint, at least in my opinion. The good far outweighs the bad. These are still available, again, from Dwarven Forge. So go ahead and pick up a couple sets for yourself if you think that's something you'd like to bring to the table, and I hope you enjoyed. Until next time.